Hi there. Another fine episode of Resurrecting Betty. Today's the day. Today's the day we drive Betty back to where she came from. I'm just going to do it pretty much for like a photo shoot, kind of like a before and an after and a during and all that. I spoke to people I got the truck from originally. They gave me permission to go there and do it. Hopefully, um, the widow of the original owner of the truck will be there. I'd like to get her reaction to it. I want to dial in the carb a little bit today, maybe do a little bit more timing set up to it before we go and head out. It's about a 20-30 mile trip. So let's get going. So I had a fan of the series messaging me about timing on the 318. Now I've already set the base timing and everything already because I'm impatient and I did it before I filmed. Um, but I'm going to run you through the basics, and then we're going to get into the carb tuning, and we'll go from there. So as you can see, I got my little mark set down there. Um, Let me see if I can get a light on this. Let's see if I can do this with two hands. I painted my hash mark on my harmonic balancer, and you can see I cleared off the timing marks really well. And it's at absolute zero. Now, when that's at absolute zero, you want to go and make sure that the rotor is pointed at the number one plug wire, which would be that one right there. Now, I've done that already, and like I said, I've already set the base timing. Mine is set at 8 degrees before top dead center, where she just seems to be finding her happy spot. Some of them you may just want to adjust it for your particular likings, but that's where Betty is most set at. So we're good there. I got this handy dandy snap-on timing light, and I've already drove it around. I already warmed it up. But pretty much what you're going to do is warm it up. You're going to take that vacuum line off, and you're going to plug it, at the line, and set your timing, either turning it clockwise or counterclockwise, depending on which direction that timing mark is at to get your base timing set. And then, set your RPMs on your carb from there. Now, what I'm going to do is because she's an old girl and I don't do it very often, but from a dead stop, if I mat it to the floor, she breaks up a little. So I'm going to try and adjust on the carb a little, adjust my mixer screws, and we'll see from there. What you want to do is you want to set up a tachometer, which this little handy guy has. See my tack advance button right there. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to fire it up. We're going to make sure all the wires are out of the way first. And we're going to start it up, and we'll go from there. Now my idle speed is about 650. You're going to get some variance, obviously. I'm at like 660, which is acceptable. 10 RPM isn't going to be a big to do. But what you want to do is you want to start going in quarter turn at a time. and get her roughed out. Tomco sets these from the factory with the factory settings, but you may have to adjust. Alright, it got a little rough there. So we're going to go an eighth of a turn. Okay, so there we go. We're a little bit rough there. And then we're going to back them out a quarter. Oh yeah, she sounds better there. Now, because I adjusted that the right way, you'll notice my RPMs jumped up about 100. So what I'm going to need to do now is take out my idle screw a bit. I went way too much. Oh yeah, she sounds much better now. And that's about where we need her. So I'm going to go take it for a ride and then get washed up, and I believe that's pretty much going to be it. Well, that was a resounding success. Let's say we get our hands a little clean and take her back where it all began. Right here. Oh, getting goosebumps. This is just so weird. Oh, I mean, it's cool. Right all the way down here. Now, I called the gentleman who I initially got the truck from, and he said his mother, the widow, wasn't home, which is kind of a little upsetting. I'll have to come out here when she's around so she can see it. But yeah, we're gonna back her on where she was and get out and take some photos. Find that old heater box. I know I've gone back far enough. There it is. You'll remember it from the first video when I show it to you. Here we are, back where it all began. There's that heater box, or the heating unit that I remember kicking the first time, contemplating if it came from that. This is just so cool. I got goosebumps. This is just so neat that I'm able to do this. The old Mustang is still sitting up there. I don't remember showing that, but yeah, that Mustang was sitting here when I got here. It's just so neat. I mean, I have no words. She's definitely come a long way. We got a little ways to go. But the fact that I was able to do this, and it's completely the opposite walk around of what I did. Maybe she was more over here. I'm in the ballpark. Okay. Yep, actually, I think that's it, because that's the big old pile right there. Definitely in the ballpark. But yep. This is where the adventurer began. This is just so cool. I am just so... I'm kind of elated that I was able to do this. And by the way, fun fact, this is Betty's longest trip since we got her back on the road. So yeah, so that was neat. Said I'm just slightly bummed that I was unable to, you know, get to have the widow come look at it. She was here. She was here when I picked it up. There's a moment in the video where what do you call it? Where I paused. I think I was on the right front fender here, or just looking at this side, and I paused it because she'd come out and I had to explain to her that everything was fine. So let's continue our road trip though, because I actually have 2 more stops I want to make, and you know, I'm gonna pause right here and take my photos and just kind of reminisce on the day, and we'll continue in a moment. Oh wait, she just come out. Oh, hang on, I was gonna pull it up for you. Wait right there, I'll pull it up for you. Yeah, she's out. She's actually home. What do you think? You like it?
I like it. How many hours you put in on it?
A lot. Like, I started from the day I picked it up, and it actually finally hit the road in November.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do to it?
I mean, I got to get new wheels for it, because that one on the back passenger side is wobbly from it sitting over there all that time.
Yeah.
But not much. You know, I washed it, waxed it, and I cleared the hood so that patina would stay, because everybody likes the patina.
Yeah, it was so ugly sitting out there with everything piled on it. It needed some love.
Yeah, look at the seat covers my wife found too.
Wow.
Yeah. Because I know the seats were in good shape, but from it sitting out,
Right.
it kind of dry rotted on me, and it started cracking.
Right.
But yeah, I told Byron, I saw him in November, and I said, oh, one of the things I got to do is get back to where I picked it up from and get some photos. I know when he saw it at Lowe's at one time, he was texting everybody, I'm guessing, and sending photos.
I think you did a great job.
Oh, wow. I really appreciate that.
I'm glad to see somebody enjoying it and not just sitting out there rotting.
Like I told him, I made a promise to him that I wasn't gonna like hot rod it or anything else like that. That I just wanted to bring it back to, you know, driver quality, and just kind of looking a little more polished than when it was sitting out there. But
sure does.
You know, nothing outrageous. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You still tell it's an antique.
Oh yeah, yeah. Funny story is the day I registered this was 2 days after Arkansas passed a new bill that in order to register an antique tag, you have to have another motor vehicle registered in your name, and it had to be more than 40 years old.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, my.
So the day I went to the DMV to register, or revenue to register this, I was registering my other car, and the lady told me at the counter I was lucky I was registering my newer car, because I had just gotten a little Kia Rio. And the lady says, oh, you're lucky you registered that one first, because I'd have told you no if you tried that. So, but I'm glad you like it. I'm glad, you know, that I know Byron has compliments every time he sees it, but I really wanted your reaction, because I know, you know, the story behind it and everything else. So that I'm really glad you're excited, but I won't hold you up no more. You were one of my main objectives, and mission complete. Thank you. I'm glad you got to see it. You have a good... Well, that's what he said. He said that you might not be home, and I'm like, oh, all right. So, but I'm really glad you got it.
You're doing a good job. I give you thumbs up.
Thank you. Oh, that was totally worth it. So, let's continue on with our road trip, shall we? Because that made all the difference in the world. Stupid COVID. So, if you're ever in the greater Brooklyn area, traveling down Highway 49, this place is a must stop. It's American made, and it's probably one of the greatest places to go. My stupidity, I forgot my mask, so I can't come in. I can't go in and walk around and show you because I was so excited about this trip. I left my mask at home. Nice job, dummy. But it is probably one of the best places to go. They got homemade ice cream, as you can see, and just anything under the sun. I even found birch beer, a staple in the Northeast here. But they got some fabulous cheeses, and just everything is exactly what this place says. There is not one product in this store that is purchased overseas or made overseas. It is just 100% home built. And like I said, it's on right on 49, and I highly recommend stopping here. Or actually, they got another one too. It's on the north side of Arkansas, in a town called Pocahontas. If you're coming through Missouri and you're coming south, that's probably where you're going to go. But yeah, it's one of the best places ever. I ain't gonna lie. This trip is the trip home primarily is all about ego. I got my photos from American Made. Ooh, that's a nice heavy that just went by. I got my photos from American Made, and now I'm gonna hit my second stop. This stop was gonna be because of a joke, but back in March of last year, end of March 28th, as a matter of fact, I don't know, I'm sure it made the national news. This area here that I'm in had a tornado rip through it. It actually ripped through most of Jonesboro, destroyed our malls, and quite a few other things. But the reason I stopped is because I was going to make a beer joke. Because in that building right there belongs to Anheuser-Busch, and that's like one of their rice processing plants where they make beer. And those towers used to have a giant Anheuser-Busch logo on it, and I was going to stop and make a joke about going to a Mexican restaurant and having a yard of beer, and was curious how long it would take me to get through that. But I'm guessing I haven't been this way in a little while, so I'm guessing that what do you call it? They redid all the towers and stuff. This is Nettleton Baptist Church. This is still on 49, by the way. Nettleton Baptist Church. Back here, it used to be a fairgrounds and all that, and the town ran out of money to operate it, so they sold it to the Baptist Church to to try and recoup some of their losses. But yes, that is the Anheuser-Busch, one of the rice processing plants out here. I'm between Brooklyn and Jonesboro, where I live. Continue on our journey. Remember I said this trip was about ego? I love the fact that they made this thing look old school. So I'm going to shoot a couple black and white photos of Betty in front of it. Remember I said it was about ego? That's going to be a cool shot. I'd be lying if I didn't say I enjoyed this trip today. Everything I got to experience and see and do totally made it well worth it. I'm guessing the point of this whole thing that I decided to do today was, if you see something you like and it looks like it's going to be an arduous task, just know that in the end, it's going to be well worth it. 60 miles. I just straight driving, had it running. Super perform fantastically. There's a few upgrades I'd like to do, and I'll show you those and many more as the series goes on. But the point of all this is save them. If you think they're savable and if they're in pretty good shape, go ahead and save them. This has been another great episode of Resurrecting Betty. I have to give a huge shout out to the Holtz for letting me go and do that. And a very special shout out to you guys as well for just viewing. I mean, really, that just makes all the difference in the world. I mean, I don't care. I tell people all the time, I don't care if it's 5 views, as long as I'm entertaining somebody and teaching somebody something. Now, I'm going to go enjoy this spectacular view and rest on my laurels a bit. But thanks again for checking out.